Action.
Good afternoon, friends. Today is Wednesday, 12th January 2022. I would like to wish you a very happy new year. And today I'm talking to a very special guest, Madame Fabienne Le Houerou, who is a documentary filmmaker from France. She has made a lot of documentaries, and she's also from an academic background. She teaches at Aix-en-Provence in France. And it's a pleasure to talk to Fabienne Le Houerou, as her latest documentary film, Prince a Vagabond, has been selected in a film festival in India. It will be shown in 8th Rajasthan International Film Festival 2022, which is going to be held in Jodhpur city from 25th to 30th March 2022. So Fabienne, bonjour, namaste. It's a pleasure, and thank you very much for giving me a chance to talk to you. Yeah. So Fabienne, let me start by asking you, how did you enter the field of cinema?
How do I?
How did you get into the field of cinema? How did you decide to become a documentary filmmaker?
Yeah. How did I get to be mixed with the cinema?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Very early, in fact, when I was a student of Jean Rouch.
Okay.
I was following his course au Musée de l'Homme in Paris in the 90s.
1990s.
And Jean Rouch was extraordinary professor.
Of course.
And
yes.
his film was absolutely interesting, enchanting, and I really was completely subjugated by the freedom of his film. They were totally free films. It was what we call cinéma vérité, truth cinema, cinema and truth, having a way to cinema. Then the truth is in a philosophical way, it's very interesting. So I followed his lesson, and he gave me really the desire to be like him, to make film like him, to act like him. You know, good professors are like that. You want to become like them. So he was like a model. For me, he was a model because his way of thinking was so free. He didn't make any in his way of seeing. This is fiction, this is documentaries, this is this, and this is this. And he put in me the virus of freedom.
Okay, the virus of freedom. Yes, that's good. Freedom is very important. Yes. Okay. Okay.
And
so,
creativity. To daring do things that people don't do. Yeah.
Okay. But Fabienne, you are also from an academic background. You teach sociology, right? Am I right? You teach sociology. So how do you find time?
Anthropology.
Yeah, okay, you teach anthropology. So how do you find time to devote yourself to cinema?
Yes, this is a good question because it has to do with the French research organization. I'm not teaching all the time. I'm a researcher at Centre National, CNRS, Centre National de Recherche, which is a state institution who allows academics to do full research. That means that we don't teach all the time.
Okay.
so I have a lot of time for doing film. I write, I do articles, I write books, and in the same way, I have the time to do films. Of course, I think if I was teaching my full time, and if I was not at CNRS, Jean Rouge was at CNRS. I think if he was a teacher, a full-time teacher, he wouldn't have this creativity. I think we are very lucky in France because we have this this freedom is being restricted, and we are much more controlled than before. Before, creativity was totally free. Now we are, a lot of things are controlling us. You have to do a lot of bureaucracy, you have to fulfill a lot of documents and this and that. So we are today, for the young generation, I don't know if they will be as free as we were. I hope for them.
Dear viewers, at this point, I would like to tell you something about CNRS. It's in French, it's called Centre National de la Recherche Scientifique. Its English translation would be National Center for Scientific Research, and Madame Fabienne Le Houerou comes from that institute. You know, it's a very reputed organization, CNRS. Okay, moving on to your latest film, Prince et Vagabond, which is set in Jaisalmer, and it talks about Manganyards musicians. So Fabienne, I would like to know from you, how did you get associated with India? When did you come to India? And how did you decide to go to Rajasthan, go to Jaisalmer, meet these Manganyards musicians and make a film out of them?
You know, I didn't intend to do a film.
Wonderful. Okay.
Not at all. I had no idea to make this film. I made film before when I came to India.
Yes.
And I came in Jaisalmer to hear a concert, for a concert, because for a concert, I went to Jaisalmer, and also because I'm fully interested in Indian art, and Jaisalmer is a piece of beauty, international beauty. And so these were the two. I was going there for art purpose, you know, as listening for a concert. And I was taken to the desert for a wedding, exactly the wedding you see in the film. And I started filming with this. And people pushed me to film. I didn't want to at first. I was just, you know, playing with my telephone, and it was so beautiful. Then I made a lot of, and little by little, people in the desert, they send me message afterward. During the concert, I cried. I didn't understand nothing, but the voice was extremely beautiful. You know, it was like crystal pure voice. So, you know, it's when I just had, you know, I just have one tear on my cheek, only one. I didn't tear like, oh, no, I had just one tear. But they saw this tear, you know, because I had my shawl, I was hiding, but they saw it, you know, because I was the only females there. And European female, so visible, you know, you're visible. You're in the desert, you're the only European, and you are visible, whether you like it or not, you are visible. So after they saw this tear, and they sent me message, and they said, yes, you cried, we saw you crying, you cried, then you have to make a film on us. You have to make a film on us.
Oh, wonderful.
Because you love our music. You'll be a good ambassador for our music because you cried. Then I said, no, I have other things to do. I have my work. And they message me like 10 times a day. So at the end, I said, okay, let's do it. You want? Okay, let's do it. You know, you have to be open-minded also. You cannot close, oh, this is not my agenda. This is not my schedule. No, I'm not looking. Research is also that. There's a word in French that I really love. I don't know how to translate it, but the word is serendipity.
Yeah.
Serendipity.
Serendipity. Yes.
You know this word?
In English,
it's a rare word.
Serendipity. Yes.
Serendipity.
Yes, serendipity. Yes.
It's you don't want to find something and you find something. You are not prepared for something, and this happened to you.
Yeah.
Serendipity.
Yes.
It's not magic, it's life.
Yes.
You know, life is full of this. And so I admitted, I said, I cannot just shut my mind, and I have to accept what the world is offering to me. If not, then I'm not a researcher. I'm nothing. So this is how it started, with them asking me to be interested in their music. And then little by little, I understood more about the music. Because there is music is culture, and it's sophisticated. It's not easy. It's very rich. Especially Manganyard music is very rich because it's at the crossroads of different musical tradition in India. So I mean, they have the raga and tala, all these things that classic Indian classical music, but they have also their own Pakistanis impact and influence, Sufi tradition. So it's a crossroads of Sufi tradition and Indian classical music. And the Manganyards are the only Muslim accepted in the temples, as you see in Prince and Vagabond. Vikram Singh from the royal family of Jaisalmer really insisted on that dimension. And I think it's the key dimension. They are the crossroads of musical tradition, but also at the crossroad of spiritualities.
Yes, absolutely.
Hindu spirituality and Sufi, and that's for me was extremely interesting as a philosophy, as a research, because it's for me, the more I learn, the more I understand that they had some kind of key message to the world. Is the message to the world is mixity. Mixed spirituality. This mixity for me is something I've been researching, doing research for years. You know, books and other films about mixity, and this is one of my main subject: mixity and exile. And mixity is something that really protect the people from having a fascist discourse, too much pure. There is not something like purity in the human history. If we go long time ago, in the past, not century, but thousands years. So, and I think the discourse on purity is something that can be dangerous. And the Manganyard for me was a lesson of mixed culture, mixed. And it's joined my main preoccupation, because first I think, oh, it has nothing to do with my intellectual subject. But no, going deep down into the society, I said, this is the logical of life. They took me into something I was before interested in. And this is serendipity.
Okay.
Serendipity.
Yes.
You think it's nonsense, and afterwards, when you have some distance, you understand that there is a lot of logic and meaning.
Yes. I mean, the way you describe it as a serendipity thing, I believe it's not that you chose Manganyards, it's the other way around. They chose you. It's not that you chose the topic.
Yes, they chose me.
It's the topic which chose you. That's fantastic. Okay.
It's always like this with me.
Okay.
Always. This has always been with my other films. Sometimes, because I'm lazy. My nature is laziness.
Okay.
So I always start to say no, 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 no. Another, oh no, no, no. My nature is to say no. And it happens all my previous film.
Yes.
And people push me, and they push me, they want me to do it.
Okay.
And their desire, it push me toward them. And then it's a beautiful adventure, because it's also human, because nobody in the world that asked me to make a film was a bad person. They were always good, interesting, lovable. And so I never say no. Afterward, when people push me, after I say yes. At the beginning, I say no because I'm lazy. But if people insist, then I say yes, because that means that the desire is strong, is real, is authentic.
Okay, fantastic. Fabienne, moving on to this particular film, Prince et Vagabond. Now, it is going to be shown in the film festival in Rajasthan, in Jodhpur, but it has already been shown for 1 month in Paris, Cinema Saint-André des Arts.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear viewers, Saint-André des Arts is one of the most famous cinema halls in Paris, where they show art house films, and you will be surprised to learn that Prince et Vagabond, directed by Fabienne Le Houerou, was there for 1 month. And this particular film was also shown in New Delhi, Alliance Française. So I would like to ask Fabienne, what was the response of the audience in Paris and also in New Delhi when you had the screenings? Because you were there in Paris as well as in New Delhi for the screening. So please share your experience with the viewers about the response from Parisian audience and from Indian audience, and even some French people were also there in New Delhi when your film was screened. So kindly share your experience.
Okay. So in Paris, the audience was numerous, and I was surprised, because such films generally we don't make a lot of people, because people they want to be amused, they want funny films, and they want film with violence, or this film was not about violence. This film was about beauty, desert. So this kind of film don't have success. So I was surprised that there were quite a lot of people who came, and most of them were musicians.
Oh, wonderful.
French musicians. And it was, and the discussion, after we had 1 hour discussion after every shooting. And this was very interesting, because the way they looked, the French musician, European musician, looked at the Indian music was very interesting, really very interesting. So I was highly interested by my audience, which is also something very, you can be grateful of that. So the French musicians were really very interested. And what they told me, the French musician, not only French, I mean, musician, they were musicians from all world, Yugoslavia, musicians that came to look at the film. They told me that music is a passion. When you come to the world of music, you never get out. This is for sure.
Yes.
But they said that in this Manganyard cast, music was a passion, but was also a social prison. And they compare to France, they say, compared to Europe, they say our music is not a prison because we can do another job. We can, but in this musical cast, they are musicians from father to son, you know, each generation, and you have no choice of being, if you're not a musician, then you are no one in the cast.
Yes, you are nobody.
And they said this is a difference.
Yes.
So we had a lot of discussion with the musician, and it was interesting for me because music is one world, and they understood very well. They had a lot of respect for the music of the Manganyards. A lot of respect.
What about New Delhi? How was the response of Indian audience in New Delhi at Alliance Française?
But you see, in New Delhi, I came when the lockdown just started.
Okay.
So I didn't, there were not a lot of people in New Delhi. And the audience was almost French.
Okay.
I think there were two Indians in the, and so I didn't have the Indian point of view. I had the French expatriate people of New Delhi being there, very few, and their reaction was I don't really know. I mean, they criticized something. They were very critical.
Okay.
Compared to the audience in Paris of musicians. In New Delhi, they were very critical. The expatriate, they asked me why you have a French musicologue. Comment on dit musicologue? Musicologist. Musicologist. Yes. You have a French musicologist who explained the ragas, the tala, everything. Why didn't you take an Indian musicologist?
Okay.
And to my point, it's not important whether it's Indian, Yugoslavian, Russian, American, Chinese, or Japanese. This is not important for me. Yes. What is important is the knowledge.
Correct. That person should be knowledgeable.
So, and also this music. And they didn't like that because it was a film on India. I should have an Indian. But
no. But I believe I watched the film, and I believe David Fauci did a very wonderful job. He explained very nicely. He was very kind. And I believe this reaction from French people in New Delhi, it was little, little absurd, I would say, because David Fauci did a good job on the film, he explained very nicely.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. I have this impression because I watched the film 2-3 times. Even this morning also I watched the film. And I believe he was very sincere. He was very sincere. And he was sharing from his heart. He was very frank.
Yes, it was from his heart. And this is the point, because he lived with them. He slept with them. He ate with them. And this I wanted. I wanted something in the Rouge, with Jean Rouge philosophy. It's a sharing anthropology. It's not someone who could look at you from far away. And he did that as a student. Like 15 or 10 years ago in the 90s. Yes. He was studying with Komal Kotari, which is not a nobody, someone really very, very, a very important Indian musicologist, and he was his pupil. What's the matter if he's French?
No, it doesn't matter, yes.
He was a pupil of a master. Komal Kotari is a master. Real master. But I didn't say anything. I accept, you cannot please everybody,
True. Yes, you're right.
When you do something, you have 3 types of people. The people who hate you because they would have loved to do it at your place. The people who don't do anything.
Yes. Okay.
And other people also.
Yes. Uh, Moving on to my next question, Fabienne.
So thank you. If you because also Indian classical music is difficult to understand if you
Yes.
don't come from this culture. And my students, they like the way he explained things because it was simple.
Yes.
It's explained in a simple way. And instead of me making a voice of explaining and being the professor, I think it was more lively to have somebody's, you know, from who had the experience rather than the knowledge.
Yes. Yes. As a matter of fact, when I wrote.
So it was.
Yes. Yeah. Carry on, please. You were saying something, Fabienne.
No, I was listening to you.
Yeah. No, as a matter of fact, when I watched the film.
What did you say?
Yeah, I'm saying that when I wrote the short article for Allocine, a short article, I mentioned that this film is, it's very entertaining.
Sorry?
Okay. When I wrote for Allocine, a short article for Allocine about Prince Vagabond,
Yeah.
in that article,
Yeah.
which I wrote in French, I
Yeah.
wrote that normally it's documentary films are difficult because they are not entertaining, but your documentary is very entertaining and it's easy to understand also. And the way you shot, because the contribution of David Fauci, you didn't do voiceover and it was very spontaneous, very clear. So that was like that added to the beauty of the film, because it made people understand that you are getting other people also involved, okay, to talk about Manganyards. Okay, so
Yeah.
yes. So
Yeah.
yes, that
Yeah.
element, yes, I like that element very much. Okay, moving on to next question, Fabienne, what are your expectations from Indian audiences when you show your film in Rajasthan? What are you looking forward to?
Oh, I have no expectation. You know, a film is a gift you give to other people.
Okay.
Sometimes you give a gift and people don't like it.
Okay.
And sometimes people like it.
Okay.
So this is a gift. Some people might like it and some people might not like it and criticize. So I have no expectation.
Okay.
Except one.
Okay, which one?
Except one.
Okay.
The only expectation is maybe they want to know more about this music.
Okay.
They want to know more about the Manganyard. They respect more their knowledge and their musical skills.
Okay.
My only expectation is for them that people will invite them more in concert, give the opportunity to play everywhere in India, but this is the case anyway, but maybe also abroad in America, and contribute to their development. This is my only expectation, is not for me.
Okay. Yes, I believe, well, yes, it's a gift from your side, but I believe it's more than that, because it's a film about Manganyards made by a lady who is, who is experienced, who has lived over there. And so it's in a way, it's a vision of a person who has lived with these people, and it'll be interesting to see the reaction of the people, because I believe, I interacted with you and you said that a lot of Jaisalmer, a whole lot of Jaisalmer is going to be there. Okay, so I believe it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting.
I've invited.
Yes.
I've invited most of the town. I don't know what they will think. Some people will be disappointed and some people will like it. I don't know, but I'm curious to see the reaction.
Yes, we should have that curiosity.
Because,
we should have that curiosity.
Yeah, I'm curious because this is a gift. Who is going to like my gift? I don't know.
Interesting. Okay. Fabienne, you have made documentary films. You started in 1996 with Hotel Abyssinie. Then you made Noma des Pharaons. Then Filmer les Déracinés, Hôtel du Nil, Les Sabots Roses du Bouddha, Chronique urbaine des Coptes de Haute-Égypte, Angers, une femme sur le film, and Prince et Vagabond. Out of all these films, what was your method? Because you said that you believe in guerrilla style of filmmaking, you believe in Jean Rouge kind of filmmaking. So please share your experience on these films, starting with your 1996 film, Hotel Abyssinie, which was a documentary film, 52 minutes. It was co-produced by Seth and Arte. So please share your experience. Arte. Yes.
Yes, it's more like 11 documentaries that I've been directing and shooting all over the world. Ethiopia was the first. Ethiopia, Egypt, Sudan, and India.
Okay.
I never shot in France.
Basically, Africa and India, Africa and Asia. Yes.
No, and the Middle East. And the Middle East, Arab country. My first film was very frustrating because it was financed by Arte. Arte gave the money, and as I was not, as I was an intellectual from CNRS, as I was an academic.
Yes, academician.
They decided that academician, they decided I cannot direct the film. I cannot be the réalisateur. So they imposed me, they imposed something I didn't want. They imposed me a director who did the film at my place. I was only author, so nothing to say. So she took all my ideas and she signed for everything. And she was not honest. She was not honest. She was on ego. It was like intellectual thieves, It was like someone took things in my house. C'était comme un vol. Comment on dit?
It's a theft. Yeah, theft.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So it was, and with the complicity with Arte, and the complicity of the producer. So this was a key experience. I decide nobody is going to take an idea for me and be a thief, take my ideas and sign with their name. This will never happen again. 1. 2, now I want freedom. I want absolute freedom. Nobody is going to impose me a map. And nobody will impose me a music or something stupid, like, because the more stupid you are, the more they like you. It's like that. Poetry, they don't understand. Freedom, they don't understand.
Plus qu'on est con, plus qu'on nous aime, c'est ça?
Exactement. Plus on a des messages simples. They want simple message.
Yes.
So if the message is complex, then they refuse. They refuse. And reality is only complexity. So if you want to do cinema vérité, a cinema about the true world, you have to be complex.
Yes. It can't be simple.
If you going to make a very reduced message, then you are lying to the people and you are lying to the society, and you don't bring anything, because no truth is raising up and you cannot change things. So I decided, with this very bad experience, I decide I will do myself everything, like Jean Rouge. And Jean Rouge used to tell me, if you want to be free, you have to film yourself, you take the sound yourself, you organize the shooting yourself, you do everything yourself with little selected help. But these help are free. you know, I'm not paying nobody. I made €1 with my film. This is cheap film we're talking about. These are artistic film, but marginal. We're talking about the marginal cinema. It's not mainstream cinema. Huh?
Les Marginaux. The Marginals.
It's a marginal cinema. I mean, it's not mainstream. So this nobody wants this freedom. The film industry doesn't want you to be free. They want you to be a soldier for their system, a soldier in their system, which I was never. I was being free. You are dangerous. You're a danger. You are seen as a danger. So everybody cuts you down. So I think all this film were like the film of a warrior. I tell you, I don't want to hide. At my age, it's not necessary to hide, to lie. It was very difficult. Not from the people. The people were adorable. In Africa, in Egypt, in Sudan, the people were adorable. I met the most beautiful people on earth for each film.
Wonderful.
But the system, the cinema system, the way sometimes they take one of my film, I ask the television to cooperate. They take my idea and they send one of their soldiers to shoot the film at my place. They did that 2 or 3 times. You know, you send the scenario, you send the project to a channel, a television.
Yes.
They take your project and they send someone.
They steal your ideas and they put
yes,
other person in your place.
Because they need a soldier, they need someone who's submitted. They don't like a free person. They want a dominated filmmakers that they will, you know, control completely.
Okay.
So I tell you, this cinema, if I was not so passionate about cinema, I would have stopped. What's wrong?
Oh, no. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I understand. Yes, this is very unethical. This is very unethical, and this kind of thing should not happen, because you know the author or authoress is going to lose her value, his or her value, and you cannot impose your ideas on other people's ideas. So this is very tragic. Okay, but how was the reception of the film? Hotel Abyssinia, you said that you worked with some of the most fantastic people. Okay, so once the film was made, when you showed it to the people, what was their response? I mean, say, were they happy, or how many film festivals?
Very happy. The people I remember. Thank you for that question, because it's an important question in the way we make cinema, because it's a sharing anthropology. So the feedback is very important. So one film called on the genocide in Sudan. You know, Sudan is a country where there's a lot of political violence. And there was a genocide in 2003 in the west region of Sudan, Darfur region. I don't know if you've heard of it. There were a genocide. Darfur. I made a film on Darfur. It was very difficult to do that film. And most of the film was shot in Egypt with Sudanese refugees in Cairo and in Egypt. And I love this film very much. And I organized a screening in Cairo at the French Center for Research, CEDEJ, which is a research center in Cairo. I invited all the Sudanese refugees who were in the film.
Oh, okay. This film, you're talking of Hotel du Nil.
They said something that really touched me. Yeah, Hotel du Nil. It's about Darfur's genocide. And it was made out of Sudanese refugees in Cairo. So they were, for the screening, they were there. And you know what they said to me? It's really touched me in my heart. It became something important to me. They said, here in Cairo, people say we are black and they are very racist with us. They tell us black, and they give their bad names. But we are handsome. In your film, I found myself very handsome. I really loved. I said, if this is my cinema, if people think they are beautiful in my film, then they give me the most interesting gift, because this is why I make cinema, because it's to see the beauties of a human being. The beauties at the heart of my research, aesthetic research. So I was very grateful to that person that she finds herself so beautiful in my film. And if people find that beautiful in my film, then I'm the most happiest person in the world. That's my expectation, maybe.
Okay.
So that expectation was fulfilled.
Okay. So
but sometimes people hate you also.
Yes.
Sometimes people hate you.
Yes. If you're
for example,
yes.
Sometimes people hate you. For example, I made a film. It's subtitled in English about a Tibetan refugee, a woman Tibetan refugee in India. I made this film in New Delhi, in the Tibetan colony.
Okay.
Magnu Katila. I made the film in
Majnu
Magnu
Katila. Majnu Katila. Yes.
Magnu Katila.
Majnu Katila. Yes.
Majnu Katila. Majnu Katila.
Majnu Katila.
Majnu means crazy in Arabic. Magnoon.
Yeah.
To Majnu, I went to Majnu Katila, made this film about this woman, refugee, Tibetan, and I was invited in a festival, and the Tibetan colony, I don't think they liked my film, because it's about a marginal woman, poor woman. She's at the edge, and she's also not married, but she has a African boyfriend. So this film was about racism, mixity, refusing mixity, because the Tibetan colony didn't really like the fact that she was
going out with
an African. So yeah, because I didn't show the beauty of Tibet, I showed something marginal. But so they didn't like it. They didn't like it. They thought that they told me you should have chosen another subject more glamorous. You know.
Okay.
But sometimes mix it. But I think Angu, a woman on the edge. The name of the film is Angu, a woman on the edge. I think this is my best film.
Okay. Wonderful.
The more powerful film in terms of social analysis on mixity. What is mixity? What is intermixing? About métissage. Comment on dit métissage en anglais?
Métissage, mixing. Yes.
Yeah. So I think this movie, in terms of philosophy, was the most interesting one. And people didn't understand. People hated this movie, and it's my favorite. I think it's the most powerful, but people hated it because it touches things people don't want to see. Sometimes you are a filmmaker, you look at things that the society doesn't want to see. They prefer to hide. Some of the truths people don't want to see. And so they hated the film. This film they hated.
Okay.
I don't know if you have seen this one.
No, I've not seen this one. Okay.
This one is the best one.
Okay.
It's better than Prince. It's better than Prince and Vagabonds.
Okay, I will try to watch it. Fabienne, moving on to next question. In France, you have a very good documentary tradition, and you also have programs such as Des Racines et des Ailes on television. Des Racines et des Ailes. You have Thalassa, which are interesting programs. I will not say that these are documentary programs about documentaries, but something similar. And you have a very good documentary tradition in France. You have Jean Rouge, you have Raymond Depardon, you have Nicolas Philibert, all these people. So my question to you is that, do you think that this, so I'm saying, my question is that, do you really feel that this documentary tradition in France is going to be more and more popular, more and more active in the years to come? Or only the fiction cinema, feature films will be more important from France? What is your view?
Oh, I don't really know. It's difficult to understand the audience because the audience always change. What I see is now most of the cinemas are closing.
Okay.
It's terrible in France.
Yes, it's terrible because, yes. Is it due to COVID or some other reason?
So I think the industry is at the crossroad. There is this big Netflix and Amazon, and the French directors, they hate Netflix and Amazon. And I think they are wrong, because you have to evolve with the time. Cinema are closing. What are you doing? You stop making film? No, you don't stop making film. You adjust to reality. And if the reality has Netflix face, you talk to Netflix. And you say to Netflix, please make film also like this, not only stupid films. It's true, they have a lot of stupid films.
Yes. Okay. So it's difficult.
But there are very, very good Indian films on Netflix. European good films, not so much on Netflix, but Indian good films, wow, full. Hundreds in Amazon and Netflix. Some series, I've seen Mirzapur series, or a lot of Indian series which are really beautiful series. So I think we should not we have to adjust, because the young generation don't go to the cinema like my generation. My daughter, my children don't go to the cinema. They have Netflix. All the young generation, and now with the lockdown and this virus, people will be more and more on the platforms. So I don't know. The platforms don't show too much documentary, and this is shameful, because excellent documentary are rising the people awareness. But things are changing. Platform is made by humans who are intelligent also. They adjust, they adapt to the desire of the audience. They are not fixed people. They adjust to the audience. So I don't really know. But I'm positive. I think they will adjust. And I don't think the cinema I'm doing is it's becoming rare. The cinema I'm doing is becoming rare, because you have to eat. And in the cinema I'm doing, which is a marginal cinema, you don't make profit. I never made any profit in 20 years. Not €1. I've lost money. No profit at all. So you are marginalized by the fact that in all society you go, you buy the bread, and you buy the bread. But my film is free. You go, anything, everything costs things. But my work is free. So you are marginalized by this fact that you out of the economic standard. So I think this will die. This is vulnerable. I don't know, maybe young people. I have young students, they are strong, intelligent. I believe in the youth, but they have to be warier, because the system can crush you very easily. They crush you like a mosquito, because everybody wants money, and there is no money for art. What are you doing? This is my cat is doing some, he's take advantage, is doing some nasty things. My cat.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay, great, fantastic. And I hope.
So I don't know the future.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
Sorry.
Thank you very much, Fabienne, for sharing your views. And it's been wonderful talking to you. And I wish you all the best for the festival. And I hope that situation becomes better and that you are able to come to Rajasthan, to come to Jodhpur in March 2022, and hope to see you over there. And I wish you all the best with Prince et Vagabond. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, merci, au revoir.
Thank you Lalit, merci beaucoup, c'est très gentil.
Okay.
À bientôt.
À bientôt, thank you Fabienne, merci beaucoup.
J'éteins.
Yeah.